Hi everyone, my name is Rena and welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be doing a speed creation of a mythological creature called the Siren. So throughout this video, it's going to be slightly different than my normal speed creations. I am going to talk to you about the choices I made as I was creating this character, but I'm also going to give you tidbits of history and details of how this creature came to be. So if that's your jam, stay tuned. Today's artwork was inspired by Hope Christopherson's The Siren and Flying with Dragons, Deep Sea Siren. Sirens and mermaids have been conflicted for a long time, but where did it begin? It wasn't always like this. Originating from ancient Greek mythology, sirens first appeared in Homer's Odyssey in the 18th century BC. At the time, appearance was unknown, but their songs were alluring to all that hears them. The songs were used to enchant sailors passing by and lure them to their death. How did they die, you wonder? Well, the sailors became enchanted by the songs of a beautiful female voice and jumped into the sea in search of the voice. They either got pulled under or having the ship crash into rocks, leaving them to drown. For my siren, I knew I wanted it to be somewhere between human-like and fish-like. So basically, somewhere between pretty and ugly. So hence the green skin and the weird shape that I'm drawing right now. I also forgot to film some of the parts, but you're gonna see a lot of fast forwarding between like the drawing of scales and other interesting details, just because I either A, didn't feel like drawing it, or showing it to you guys, or B, this was getting too long in post editing, so I cut it. Later in history, writers and artists depicted sirens as bird-bodied and a beautiful head of a female. So this is where they started to actually become a physical creature. Before, they didn't have an appearance. So at this point, the sounds of the siren was the only thing that was known, but appearance was not. Then later they depicted sirens as creatures with a bird body and a human head, which to me makes sense considering that birds actually sing and fish don't, so having a bird body makes more sense to me of a creature that's supposed to be of song versus a creature of song but in the ocean. But anyways, that later on changes. So with this portion, I was trying to figure out a hairstyle. I was really inspired by Flying with Dragons styling of their deep sea sirens, so I kind of wanted something like that. I wasn't sure on how I wanted the hair to lay, so I went back and forth between longer hair and shorter hair, but I ended up opting to a shorter length because I just liked how it ended up falling and kind of made it look like it was actually like the character was underwater, and how your hair kind of separates and the space between the hair, so it just had like more of a flow pattern to it. And then I also redid the lips and added some scales. As you can see, I just thought the lips should be a little bit more of like a softer look to it, just so that way we could have that easy medium between a cute and ugly kind of look. And then we got to add in some veins. In Jerome, the word siren was used to describe demons or some kind of monster called thenim, where they became the symbol of evil and temptation. After some time, Sirens took a shift from part bird, part human to being a snake with wings. And this is where things got a little messy. As for the outfit that I created, I wanted it to be somewhere between like a mermaid style, so I kind of still went with the bra top, and the skirt that I used was a pencil skirt with a little fish scale detail. The rest of it was literally all trial and error. I didn't really have an idea of what I was making, so I just kind of went with it. And so far, I like how it turned out. So let me know in the comments below. In the northern Humberland bestiary, sirens are a kind of human bird fish hybrid with amphibious webbed feet. So they were all over the spectrum. People were very confused of what sirens were supposed to be. In the 14th century, Sirens' identity became standardized as a fish-tailed temptress with a hypnotic voice. The words siren and mermaids were interchangeable. Since sirens were supposed to be temptress, the bird body was ditched for a beautiful fishtail. I mean, a bird body and a human head doesn't really sound so tempting. So in the end, Sirens became more of like a mermaid figure because it suited the ideal design of a tempting creature more with a mermaid look, where it's more of half their body is human and half the body is a fish, versus a body of a bird and a head of a person. So that's the creation of a siren, of today's variation of a siren, I guess. Still in many other languages, siren does, like in the English language, siren and mermaids are actually supposed to be two different things, but I mean, it's slowly getting intertwined as the years goes on. I believe in Russia, siren is still depicted as a half bird, half human, and in all the other languages like French, Italian, as such, siren is considered to be a mermaid-like creature. And thus ends the creation of Sirens. So there's your story time. And all that's left is to talk to you about what is going on here in these scenes. So basically, I just wanted to add in some of the color schemes, blending those color schemes that I kept throughout the whole entire outfit, from the leg to the hips to the chest piece. I basically incorporate that color scheme throughout the whole entire project. I added this fishnet kind of jacket looking thing. I saw it in like a fashion thing. I don't remember where I saw it from, but anyways, it looked really cool on the model, so I wanted to see if I could create something similar to it here. It wasn't given what it was supposed to give when it was all black, so I just used the same color scheme once again, and that's why it looks like that now. And then the last but not least, I wanted to add a tiara. I also forgot to show you the creation of the remaining bits of hair, so I did add a bit more hair strands. That's why there's some all over the place there, and then curling up into the front of her face, which I kind of like it like that because once again it makes it look like there's more movement into the hair, making it look like she's actually underwater. So this is the creation of the tiara. I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be an actual band or not. I will give you a hint of, if we were creating like a headband or something, it is a lot easier to color your components. So like if you're using different elements, so like here I'm adding another component there. I know that I want those two things to be the same color or using the same texture, but then I'm planning on adding more elements above. So having them different color combination makes it a bit easier to find what you're working with when you are in the new version of Vroid, since you can't really see your texture on the right top corner anymore. Honestly, I don't understand why they took that out, but anyways, here we are, trying to make a tiara looking thing, and it's not going to look like this in the end result, so don't worry about that. So this is what I mean, just changing the colors So that way you know that, okay, well, I plan on having this one being one texture and then this one's going to be a total different texture. So then I just erased it and then drew in my seashell, Jesus, into the scene here, and then added all the detail, kind of made it more like a cartoon kind of look. It was kind of hard to figure out where it was going to be placed, so that was also just trial and error. I thought it would just be easier if I just put it on the left hand side or on the right hand side, just based on previous projects, and then just playing around with the parameters, which seemed to work out just fine that way. And then for the other ones, I knew I wanted more seashells, but I'm not even sure if I'm saying that word right. But I wanted it to be similar uniform coloring. So I once again took the same color scheme as before. I didn't really like how this one came out at first because that blur was a lot stronger than I anticipated, so it kind of like lost the colors and made it look very murky. So that turned out like that. It kind of looks really bad like this right now from this point of view. But when you zoom out, it looks a lot better. Because during this view, I'm just like, oh my god, what happened? But yeah, once again, playing around with parameters and getting them to sit where I would like them, and then stretch them out later. Alright, I wanted like some like spirally oh my gosh, this word, seashells, spirally seashells. I wasn't sure how to obtain that look. It kind of looked a little funny, so at first I kept it like that, and then as I was doing the chains here, as you can see I'm erasing, and then I was just about to draw in some chains, I totally started to hate how the other part looked, so I decided to get rid of it and redo it and drew my own, which I completely forgot to show you, but that's what it looks like. Now they're nice blue hand-drawn spirals because it looks a lot better that way, and that's the finished product. So that is our deep sea siren with a lot of decorative pieces that I wasn't really expecting to do, but I ended up liking how it turned out. I added a little bit of a bounce to the chains. I mean, they don't connect, but that's okay. And I'll probably put this character up on my booth. When will that happen? Who knows? Only heaven knows, because with the schedule that I have going on here, there is none. So it's whenever I get around to it is when it goes on there. But if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!